Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a reading for Cancer, if that's your solar, lunar, ascendant, or rising sign. This is a message for you. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn the cup 3 times counterclockwise, tap on it 3 times, and then lift. Let's see. What is the message for Cancer? Okay, let's see. So now if you are new to the channel, thank you for checking out the video. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. If you would like to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And I'd love for you to see more videos. Let me know how I'm doing. Okay. Now this one really, sometimes we just have really clear images. I'm seeing a couple things, and I just kind of want to look around the bowl here. So it looks like we have a large W, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's a W because of this kind of, this right here and this right here. I don't think that this is an M. I think this is definitely a W. So this, because of the placement of this formation of the W in the bowl here, I'm going to go ahead and say this is not the person I'm reading for. This is somebody that, and especially because of the size, this is somebody that is going to be involved in the scenario. So probably the main person that we're talking, aside from the person I'm reading for, the main, other person that is involved. Okay, and there might be others, or there might just be this one. So with the W, that could be their name. It could be some kind of career path they're in. It could be a describing characteristic. So, one of those 3. So if you know a W person, this is probably going to be about some kind of interaction you have with them. And let's see. This figure up here, let's see, are we out of focus? Yes. This figure up here looks like a rabbit looking at the moon, okay? And this is right up here on the rim of the bowl, where this is where the moon is, and part of the rabbit, okay? So I've talked about in other videos, and I'll always go over it again because, you might not have seen the other videos. This rim area, if I see a formation symbol in that area, it means that it has something to do with the higher self, spiritual, the realm, the metaphysical, like the higher emotions, not the base emotions, but so, not a romantic love, but if it was a love feeling, it would be kind of more like a divine love, a love that you share with some, some higher being, or, in any kind of emotion, really. So with the rabbit, looking up, gazing up, the other, when I see an animal or being, or like a humanoid formation, looking up, especially at a celestial body, this is usually indicative of a dreamy state. This could be like daydreaming, meditation, you know, some kind of dissociative state, but not necessarily a negative one. This could also be the kind of creative place that you go when you're making art or music, that kind of flow state that you get into. But with the rabbit, this is, you know, the rabbit's beautiful. I love that movie, Rabbit Moon, the Kenneth Anger, the Kenneth Anger movie. I always think of that when I see a rabbit at night, which I do often in the backyard. But so this is going to be, a rabbit is often a nocturnal animal, though we see them during the day. They kind of move more freely at night beneath the moon. And when I look at this image, I kind of just think of, you know, a very snowy night, a big moon on a crystal clear, the sky's crystal clear because it's so cold. There's not a lot of moisture in the air. The little rabbits out there breathing, and, you know, there's, you can see their breath coming out, and they're looking dreamily up at this moon, their mother, the, you know, the Luna, our guiding light, right? So I think that this really is just showing me this, you know, you're just really in this place where you're in the night side right now. Okay. You're existing in a more mute place. You're something has gone on that's kind of dragged you back into yourself. And I don't think you're in like a distressed place. I think that you've gone into yourself, and it's allowed you some time to really work on some things, some projects, some creative things that you've been wanting to do. I think that they've really come out. I think that the pull of that watery moon has really just, you know, you're really in sync with that. You're a Cancer, you're water, you're, you know, very in touch with that moon and with that night side of yourself. And I think that you're just really in your element right now. I think that, you know, I think that Cancers, although are very sensitive and, you know, somewhat moody people, when they go through any kind of disruption in their mundane kind of base reality life, they're so good at going into themselves and like making something beautiful and worthwhile out of that kind of solitude that they've returned to. And I've always been very kind of jealous of that ability of, you know, the Cancers that I've known in my life. And I really think that this is the place that you're in. You're in the midst of really a very fruitful creative period. I think that moon is just smiling down on you. You're gazing up at it. I think you're really enjoying the flow of things. And I think that's really echoed here in this circle that we're seeing here. And I know this is not a perfect circle, but and that's okay. But I am taking this as a circle form, and you know, I just think that there's just this flow of energy of the creative sexual force, just, you know, pouring through you, pouring out of you. I think that you really have probably been spending a lot of time in your head, maybe not interacting socially as much as you usually do. I think that also if you're in a relationship, you have a family, You've been spending more time kind of focusing on your work. And that might not be the work that you make money doing, although, that could be if that, if you work within your passion place. But I think this is more about you've been working in your creative outlets, your hobbies, the things that you just can't live without, and you're really in a good place there. The thing about you is that, sometimes you just have a hard time really balancing your relationships with your need to be a little bit more solitary, isolated, and totally immersed in your interests, your passions, and that sometimes can take away from your relationships. I think that you might have a tendency to be a little neglectful of those sometimes, but the beautiful thing about you, Cancer, is that you also are the type of people that often you're very picky about who you partner yourself with and the people that you bring into your very personal life, your kind of unit, and your for lack of a better term, kind of support system. So these people are usually pretty understanding and know what kinds of little cycles you go through. Okay, now let's see here. And this is interesting. I like this figure here. When I see, and I think this is beautiful. It goes right with this rabbit looking at the moon up there. It's a human figure, and its arms are both raised. There's the head, and then there's the arms, kind of really raised towards the sky here. And when I see a figure like that, it's very much, to me, I feel this overwhelming sense of awe, basking in the joy and grace of like a divine, universal cosmic energy, in kind of that God force, if that's what you believe in, but surely something very divine, and that also can be very much related with that surge of creative inspiration, that real potent creative sexual energy. And I don't mean the sexual in the sense of Eros, although that is also in there somewhere. But in this context, we're talking about inspiration, the life force, the ideas, imagery, sounds, whatever it is, whatever comes to you, colors, sensations, impressions, all of those things kind of just flowing through you. And you're aligned in such a way that you've been able to take that that potent stuff, that dew of the gods, and kind of put it into your work, and really have been able to manifest with that. And that's such a beautiful thing. But I think that, and I always have so many nice things to say about Cancers because you're just the most creative people, really. And just I think that you just, when you get into that place where you're just aligned correctly for yourself, you are unstoppable in those creative endeavors. Okay, so let's see, we're kind of out of focus now. And you can hear my daughter back there. She's having fun with her dad. We're about to get ready for dinner pretty soon. Let's see. Okay, so this figure, very interesting to go with the others. I'm seeing this as a praying mantis with this beautiful horned head here. And for me, a praying mantis is always related with the species of intelligences that are in charge of the timekeeping. They keep the framework of base reality running, the simulation, if you will. So when we see this, I think that it really just shows me that you're really just plugged into that stuff that, again, like I said, that dew of the divine, of the gods, you know. I think that it's just flowing for you. I think you're really in touch with these intelligences that are helping support this ability to take things from, you know, from the higher realms of consciousness, from, you know, the ultra conscious cosmic stuff, all of the symbols, imagery, all of that stuff, and you are transmuting it into something physical, something, at least something that is experienced in the physical realm. Okay, so that is, you know, the true work of a magician. And oftentimes, a lot of cancers, you do have those, you know, those magician qualities, and the ability to manifest things that speak to a lot of people, that are very beautiful. Often, you know, could be very niche stuff, but still relatable to wide audiences. And, you know, just things of substance, for sure. Okay, let's see. What else can we see? Let's pull this out and see if I can look from this. Yeah. Looking at this figure here, and now we're saying this is with the W. I think in this figure, this formation is related to I think somebody that is from your past. It looks like, because they're facing towards the past. I think this is somebody that's been very prominent, maybe a friend, a creative partner, somebody, I don't know, maybe it's not even a person. It could be, and I've done this in a couple of readings. It's not clear to me if this is a real person, a physical person, or if this is maybe a dream partner, or somebody, some kind of, you know, like a muse energy, something like that. Okay, but I think this is very prominent. I think it's a feminine energy. I'm getting this almost, I want to say empress, but it's not an empress. It's more, I think that it's like a high priestess energy. A very rounded, holistic, feminine energy. And I feel like it's, you know, this is an energy that has been tied to you deeply, and has been with you for a long time, maybe always. Okay, but I don't think it manifests in your psyche all that often. I think this is an archetype that is uncomfortable to you. And I think that this archetype, when it becomes activated in your thinking, it's challenging, because I think, it puts you out of your comfort zone. I think that it really is tied into some tough emotional things. I think that it really, when you come into this archetype, manifesting, that there's this like sense of needing to communicate and purge some of your emotions, and I think that's difficult for you. I don't know if that is with a person, if that's maybe some kind of therapeutic thing, with a therapist even, I don't know. But I think that you get to these points where you probably, and it makes sense that it would coincide with a very like potent period of creativity, that your emotions would be on the rise too. And to the point where you're not really able to just put them aside and kind of freeze them out, which I think is kind of your like normal, that's like your baseline. But I think that this person, this intelligence, this archetype gets activated for you, and it becomes very difficult for you to ignore these like kind of swelling of emotion. I'm getting this like feeling of like, like a knot in your throat and like kind of teary-eyed, like I think that you spend a lot of time trying to push that down, trying to avoid really dwelling in that emotionality, and it just sometimes comes very heavily. And I think that this is a period of time where you're doing a lot of creative work. It's coming easily to you, but I think those emotions are also flowing. And I think that sometimes you just have a really difficult time accepting that. I think that there's almost a sense of being kind of resentful about it, okay? And there may be a tinge of anger, having to receive this kind of energy, like you don't want to have to deal with this part of it to get the inspiration and such. But I think that this is often a life struggle for some people, is to learn how to successfully navigate these kind of more emotional periods, when that's not really in your nature. It's more in your nature to avoid that, or just kind of suck it up and deal with it privately or whatever. And it, when it becomes overwhelming, that can really become kind of difficult. And I think that probably you avoid whoever or whatever kind of triggers that in you. Okay, and there goes my cat too, trying to escape the back of the house. Let's see. I think this is a beautiful formation here, very symmetrical. Okay, I think this is really just it just reinforces the balance that you have right now within yourself. I think that, it's really going to just be a matter of navigating some of that emotional stuff that's coming up, but also making sure that you honor and tend to your domestic, physical, and social relationships and things like that. So, during these times of just creating and flowing with it, you have to take care of your physical body. You have to make sure you're sleeping, eating, staying hydrated, you know, checking in with people, and you know, just doing all those kind of things that seem maybe tedious to you, but they're important because, you know, all of that that lower work helps uphold the higher work and the creative work, and, you know, all of those higher arts that are always so important, it seems, to you, and, you know, to any kind of person that is you know, on those paths or initiated in some way. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just really reinforcing that you need to make sure that you're doing while you're doing the internal work and creating, manifesting into the physical, you got to make sure that mind, body, soul is strong. Right? So yeah, so I think that's the message that I'm getting, Cancer. And you know, I think that this is probably a really awesome, fun time for you, and, you know, that's good. I'm a little jealous. I love to get into those zones of being able to create and focus on that kind of stuff. Just, you know, really having the space to do that. And so, yeah, okay. Thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for letting me read these messages for you. And if you would like to leave a comment, please do so. Let me know if this resonated with you. You can find me on Facebook. It's Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Go ahead and like and follow the page there. And I'm also on Instagram, Ula of the Tea. You can message me there, or, you know, whatever, comment on the posts. And if you're interested in a personal reading, just get a hold of me. There's in the description, there is an email, or you can DM me on one of those platforms. Okay, thanks, Cancer. This is Ula Tea Leaf Readings. I am Lenore, and again, I thank you so much.